Good evening, everyone. I'm back with yet another insight on wealth management. So, let me ask you how many of you are saving for your child's education and you are saving with the confidence that it will serve the purpose for which you are doing? So, I can challenge you that what you're doing is not the proper way for investing for your children's education. Now, let me take you through this video, like why I'm challenging that and how can I help you or how do you come out of this saving cycle without serving its purpose. So let's begin, guys. Once again, welcome to my video with Wealth with Seema. So once we become a parent, our next goal is how do we fulfill the dream of our children? Now, what if my child wants to become take up some education in abroad? Will I be able to support my child? All these are the questions coming in front of the parents. Those who don't know how to secure the money with the current earning that you have. The problem with you is not that you're earning. Problem with you is that you are not having a proper financial blueprint. Let me to show you how. None of us make any financial plan of how do we attack our financial issues. And why this is there? Because we don't have a clarity on that. We should have a plan and we should have a clarity on what our financial goals are. That is the thing which will reduce your confusion. So this is one step that I've taken to make you understand how to bring clarity on your children's education fund. So why don't we have the clarity is not because we are not earning or not because we don't have a goal, but it is because we don't have a proper plan. We don't have a proper goal for us to start with. So you don't know the goal of or the educational goal of your children. So what that does is that because of that you delay the planning and there are various other financial goals that you need to attack and you mix all that into one bucket and that creates a lot of confusion and so you are nowhere when you think take your financial goals in place because I've heard many many people salaried people or people who are earning enough tell me we earn enough but at the end of the month we don't know where this money went. When you build a clarity around your money is where the money helps you to serve your goals. So let me show you how it is possible. See again, when we talk about investment, we know what is an SIP. So we just go and invest some amount in an SIP, not knowing why this SIP has been set up. That's what I'm saying. Goal is not at all there. Before that, you start investing. So the sequence itself is wrong. So this will always lead to confusion. You are not going to reach anywhere with such kind of planning. So let me show you a framework. If you follow this in the same order in which I'm talking, I bet you will surely get a clarity on how to invest for your child's education. First thing is you should know as a family, at least both the parents should know what can be the educational goal of your children or What do you want your child to become and how do I support her or him? And next step is not to jump on how much do I invest so that I will achieve this when he requires. It is to estimate the future cost of that particular educational goal and also knowing the timeline. Now, if you're going to start planning for your child's education when he is born, then you have 18 odd years for you to make that money. So your time horizon is defined, your goal is defined. So you need to know, like first I'm going to support my child's education at the age of 18. So I have 18 more years. So what is the cost, future cost that is after 18? Now the cost of education of what you want your son or daughter to become an engineer, you know that you have 18 odd years to complete. Now, in this 18 years, will the cost remain the same? No. Whatever you say, inflation is going to be there. So, what you have to do? We need to incorporate this inflation and other costs and estimate the future cost. Because I'm not saying any prediction, this is called planning. So, estimate the future cost required to fulfill that goal. And after that, calculate how much you will require to set aside every month from your monthly salary. So start now. And then after you start investing, that will not automatically take you to the goal. You need to do a frequent review, at least once per year. Why? Because your salary will change, your situation will change, your financial goals will change. Everything evolves. And you need to see that you are still on track with the current trend. And so that will require some rebalancing of your investments. So that is the reason we need to do the review every now and then in a periodic manner. Let me show you an example. I know a couple, both of them are working and they have a child, a son, and he's 7 years now. So what they did is they started an SIP thinking they can support their son with the amount that it will give when he requires. Now the parents have 11 odd years more to support his education, and he has just started with 15,000 rupees per month. So what I did is I asked them, do you know how much you will require to support your child's education? They both looked at each other and they just gave me a blunt look and told, Seema, no, we actually don't know how much money we require. So my next question to them was, how did you decide it to be 15,000? That again became a surprise for them, and they answered me, we thought that's some good amount to start with. This is the case for every other parents in India. They just go with some assumption. This will be enough. So what do I say? You mean that the parents are irresponsible whom I was talking to about? No. Or you parents are irresponsible? No. You know your responsibility. You know that you need to support your child's education. But then you don't know how to attack it. That is, I can compare it with your travel plan. Now, when you plan a travel, you first decide the destination. Then you check whether you have the budget to support that. And then you book the tickets. Then you pack. You just don't randomly book a ticket and then think about where you need to go. So this is exactly the same with your family finances too. First, you need to know where exactly you're going towards. And then, once the destination is arrived, you need to know what it cost for you to reach there. What is the timeline you have to achieve that goal? So once we know these two, we can easily calculate the future cost. So now you have a clarity what are you working towards. Then you can build a proper structure roadmap for us to reach there. And we should not mix all our financial goals into one bucket. Education for children should be separate. You will have other financial goals, your retirement plan, your vacations, you want to build a house, etc. and etc. So, whatever is the goal, whatever is the amount, set aside for that. So, you should go ahead with that amount, that bucket for that. And the next thing is every year you need to open this book where you had planned and review it. Why? Because this situation is different in that 1 year. Your salary is different. Your environment is different. Your surroundings are different. You would have got extra salary. You don't know where to adjust that, in which bucket to adjust. So is there some rebalancing required for my child, I achieve my children's education goal? So this is where we need to review every year and see that we are on track. So what happens is that now when I ask the couple, are you sure your child's goal, education goal is met? They answered me with confidence, yes, Seema, this is where what I wanted to know. So now they are confident that they can support their child's education when he reaches that level. So now they don't have any confusion. They are very confident. This is how you have to build a roadmap for your goals. So, what is the action plan? First thing is we need to define our goal. We need to understand, we need to clarify what the target is and what is the timeline we require to reach that goal. Once we understand that, we need to estimate the cost that is required at that period. That is, now your child is just 5 years old. He is going to go for an higher education when he is 18 years old. So you have 13 more years to reach that goal. And at that time, when your child reaches that stage, now whatever investment you are making now, will that be sufficient to support that goal? That is where we are going to estimate the cost. We are going to estimate the cost of at that milestone. That is after 15 years. What will be the cost of that same education? How will we do that? We need to take what is the cost at this time. We need to multiply it by the number of years and add to the also multiply by the inflation to get the cost. Now, we should allocate this fund only for your child's education. Now, you second child, you need to plan for her or his education. Do it in the same way. Don't mix that both. You might have to plan for your retirement. Do that. Each of the goal will have different time period, different value that you need to achieve. So based on that, your plan will be different. Your allocation of fund will be different. Next, automate that savings. That is, your payments towards your investment should be automated. Set up an automatic deduction from your salary account to this fund account so that it is you are not if you forget also that will happen that investment will happen. And the final thing is review. Without review, the plan is a waste. You have know the milestone, you know where to reach. Now we need to review at every stage, that is every year, that we are on the right path towards achieving the goal. So this is the action plan that you need to follow to reach the goal of your child's education. So now, what do I need to summarize? First, we need to have a clarity on our goal. Once we have a clarity, then we need to choose the products and we need to be consistent in that investment. What will this give you? This will give a peace, not yours, but for entire family. The confusion is reduced, right? Because you are very clear on where you're going, what you have to do to reach there, everything. So this is where you reach financial freedom. That is, actually, wealth is not built by seeing which amount or which tool will give you more returns, which financial tool will give you more returns. That is achieved, or financial freedom is achieved when you know that your goals are achievable. This is where, and the clarity gets precedence. What will this clarity? It gives you confidence. Yes, I am on the right track. Now, what next? So, this is how we need to build our roadmap. So, if till now whatever I spoke was meaningful, you feel it is meaningful to you, then sit with your family or sit with your spouse. Understand what is the educational goal of your child. Write down that. And then estimate the cost of what is required to achieve there. Build a roadmap. Now, once you have the clarity on what your goal is, I am here to help you build that roadmap, which will take you to your goal of child education. I have given the link to my clarity call. So, in the description, click on that and book my clarity call so we both can work. No, where are you today? What is the destiny that you have to reach? And how do we build that roadmap together so that your financial confusion is converted into financial clarity and you get a confidence on that? So, this is what I help you do to create a confusion free financial life. Again, if you felt that this video is very helpful to you, kindly subscribe for more such videos which will give you insights about building wealth and achieving your financial freedom. Also, share it with someone whom you think will require this the most. So let us all together build a financially free life.